Have you ever felt like nothing matters? Or that the future looks bleak and unhopeful? And everywhere you look seems to be getting worse? I know how it is to feel this way. I felt that way more than once, like feeling everything will go into hell. But recently, I started using more social media, mainly Twitter, especially because of this channel. And I noticed that sentiment, like being quite frequent even for someone who mainly follows VTubers and artists like me. Multiple times it kept popping up and I was just noticing like I mostly like in the beginning I was mostly like just ignoring, but then it caught my attention and then I decided to search more about it. But it's not a Twitter thing. I don't know how it is on the wonderful lands of Instagram, but on the streets of YouTube we can find plenty of those videos if you search for it. These people use the internet to show their reality, their mistakes, regrets in life. And even now, researching for this video, I found new videos about the topic, like this one, where this guy went homeless and it's now heading to Miami. Or this other guy who talks about his regrets now in his 40s and how people are isolated. It's a lot to cover in one short video, but watching so many of those videos, reading tweets, searching more about it, the problems are always similar. It's a pattern. When I was a teenager, I used to find weird how people in my age bracket never had a plan for the future, or was vague, or really shallow, and looks like they were just letting life go by. I thought it was a generational problem, but it doesn't seem to be. I saw people from all walks of life doing the same videos, the same comments, the same regrets, or at least similar. One of the major problems people, especially on a young age, do is acting like you have the whole time in the world to make stuff, and acting like nothing will change. But in reality, we know it's far from being a good mindset to have. The year will slowly go by without you even noticing. And even when you notice, you're gonna be in your 40s, without a family, without your dreams, and without even friends, which is something that seems to happen a lot with young people, to the point it happens with me. Friendless. That's a issue more relatable with most, at least I expect it to be, because the amount of videos with the title "I'm this years old and I have no friends" or something similar is really high. And if you think about it, it doesn't make much sense, right? We are more connected than ever, but we still can't find friends? Like, yeah, that never clicked well with me for the longest time, because I was a loner. I thought it was a me problem. Quick summary about me. I quit school at 16 to go after a dream of being a content creator. And I tried for 3 years and failed miserably. So I went 3 years almost never going out and just being online. The reason I have almost no friends is because I went in a search of a dream. And I'm also as an adult, I reached that time where your online friend group are busy. Like everyone is doing their own thing. And you just get isolated because everyone is busy. Like I said, for the longest time I thought it was an issue with my life choices. Like there is a video from a fellow VTuber talking about her experience with loneliness and trying to make friends. And her experiences are similar to mine. I'm even gonna let the video in the description, and it's appearing on the screen right now. There's also an infinite amount of people having no friends for other reasons. Because in reality, social media made people go after clicks and likes, not groups and friendships. And especially with how polarizing and crazy people online and offline are today, probably one of the biggest reasons people are just isolating themselves. This video might seem a bit random, especially because I was making a funny gameplay, and I'm now making this video it's much more serious, it's scripted and everything. The reason I'm making this video is actually two reasons. One, I noticed a pattern and I decided to comment because it looks interesting, especially for nowadays where people seems so lost. But the second reason is because I saw my old self in there, lonely, depressed, and dreams shattered. No future plans, no will to continue, no hope for better times. I quit school at 16. There isn't much for me in a regular job. I should be in shambles, but I'm not. I have turned to be quite optimistic. I just took responsibility for my own mistakes and want to keep going. I used to think like those people, acting like I had all the time in the world waiting for a video to blow up, to get that sweet viewer base and be popular and famous. But only got an unfinished high school degree and dug my family into debt. But that's still not the reason to just throw all out and not do anything. Because of that, we should fight for ourselves, so that way we can make better times, not just for us, but for the people around us, or those who will come across our way in the future. Because if we can't fight for ourselves, how we will be able to pursue our reason to live? I know it sounds cheesy and condescending, but sometimes to go over those problems, you just need to make your objective, a reason to live, and plan your way there. So then you can improve yourself and overcome the challenges. And if life lets you down again, you can overcome easily. I'm not that depressed kid crying while listening to 21 Pilots anymore, and I'm not that failed creator who was afraid of finally starting over. I grew up and decided to get better and go back to what I love. Making stuff, creating stuff to make people happy, making this channel, restarting over from scratch, from nothing, and finally getting a real job that I was so afraid of, and finally fixing my mistakes. And I know, not everyone can fix their mistakes. It's reality. It's not a movie, it's not a video game, it's not a novel, it's nothing. It's a reality. And not everything can be fixed, but you can try to get better. We can learn with the mistakes and learn how to not make those mistakes again. I'm just saying, like, I made this video thinking about people who was lost, because I was for the longest time. I remember a friend tell me, like, you need to focus more, because it always seems to be lost in your own mind. You never know what to do. You're just like, oh, you're doing this, but then you just stopped and decided to make other stuff, and then you stopped again and didn't finish and went to the next stuff, and what the fuck are you doing? Focus, lock in one stuff and make that stuff great and finish. So I decided to make the channel. I know I'm young, I might not understand everything, and I'm not pretending to understand everything, but I know some really fucked up stories from people who lost everything and managed to fight back and succeed. I hope you liked this video. If you liked, subscribe, comment about it. I just wanna see what people wanna talk about this video, since it's a different video than I made before. And actually this was the video I wanted to make as a first video, but I had no idea how to put it in the paper and script it and make it all like come to life. Anyway, I'm Frey, and we see each other in the next video. Bye.